It's a revelation I never imagined I would share, yet here I stand, summoned by an undeniable courage to unveil the most secretive, forbidden, and intricately woven night of my existence. That fateful day, the day that would alter the course of my life, I believed it was simply about avoiding solitude on my 64th birthday. Little did I know, Lucas's insistence on keeping me company held deeper, more profound secrets waiting to unravel. The unspoken connection between us, a tension years in the making, and all that we had buried deep within for years, could never be fully cast aside. On that fateful day, everything reached its boiling point. Allow me to take you back to the very start of it all. Lucas stood at the threshold, the weight of his lineage heavy upon him, for he was Jonathan's stepson. At 28, he exudes confidence and determination, a magnetic presence that could ensnare my attention in an instant. In the year Jonathan departed from this world, he would come to visit frequently, sometimes lingering by my side for days on end. Yet 2 years ago he vanished into thin air, leaving no trace behind. In his absence, the moments we shared became treasures, hidden away in the shadowy recesses of my mind, waiting to be unearthed. No matter how hard I tried to erase him from my mind, those memories clung to me like shadows, refusing to fade into the darkness. And then, the fateful day arrived. He materialized at my door. He claimed he needed to search for some documents in the garage, but deep down, I sensed that his true intentions ran far deeper than that simple errand. Lucas's gaze pierced through me, igniting a tempest of emotions I had long buried, catching me completely off guard. As he flashed a smile, papers clutched tightly in his hand, a shiver of anticipation coursed through me. I sensed that this visit held secrets, and my instincts were about to be confirmed. The gramophone, a relic of the past that he had tucked away in the garage, stood there like a sentinel of memories. It was the very one I had longed for, even during Jonathan's days, and now it cradled my favorite record, waiting to unleash its haunting melodies once more. The document served merely as a facade. This was a journey that revolved entirely around my existence. The instant my eyes landed on that gramophone, a surge of adrenaline coursed through me, as if my heart might explode from the intensity of the moment. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Lucas slipped away, his silence hanging heavy in the air. But as night fell, he returned, a cake cradled in his hands, a glimmer of hope in the darkness. That familiar smile lingered, yet it now carried a weight of unspoken secrets. "I couldn't bear the thought of you spending your 64th birthday alone, Eleanor," he said. And in that moment, I understood that this was about far more than just a birthday celebration. Lucas stood on the brink of unveiling a night that would forever be etched in my memory, a night that defied every expectation. That night, a transformation unfolded, and now I will recount every vivid detail. As I swung the door open, Lucas stood before me, and I was utterly unprepared for the sight that greeted me. This was no ordinary visit. An electric tension hung in the air, and I sensed it immediately. He cradled a delicate cake in his hands, his sharp suit accentuating the tension in the air. The smile on his face held a deeper significance, radiating intensity that captivated the moment. At 28, Lucas exuded a captivating blend of maturity and youthful energy, drawing others in with an irresistible allure. "Happy birthday, Eleanor," he said, his voice enveloping her like a comforting embrace, filling the entire doorway with warmth. His words caught me off guard, igniting an indescribable fire deep within my chest. He had not forgotten my birthday. For the first time, someone had arrived to celebrate with an intensity that felt almost palpable. "I couldn't bear the thought of you facing 64 all by yourself," he said, his captivating smile widening, as if drawing her into a world where loneliness had no place. "The night is poised to be extraordinary. If this tale strikes a chord within you, step into my world, join my channel, subscribe, and activate notifications to embark on more thrilling adventures. Believe me, this will change everything. Prepare yourself for a tale that will captivate your imagination like never before." The urge to speak surged within me, yet the words tangled and twisted, refusing to escape my throat. Lucas set the cake down on the coffee table, his gaze locked onto mine as he stepped closer, the air thick with anticipation. "But, Eleanor," he murmured, his gaze sweeping over me with a tender intensity, "tonight holds the promise of something truly extraordinary. Let us honor this moment in a manner that truly befits you. Slip into that beautiful dress, and together, Let's create an unforgettable night. Initially, I contemplated turning him down, but the softness of his gaze, coupled with an undeniable insistence, rendered refusal impossible. With a subtle nod, I ascended the staircase, each step echoing the weight of unspoken thoughts. With each step up the stairs, an exhilarating thrill surged within me, igniting my senses. As I swung open the doors of my wardrobe, my gaze was ensnared by the haunting allure of a black dress, untouched and forgotten for years. As my fingers glided across the fabric, I felt a surge of anticipation, drawing me closer to the mirror's reflective surface. Before donning the dress, I peeled off my t-shirt. Standing exposed before my reflection, my skin retained its firmness and youthful glow. With my hands gliding over my waist, I leaned in closer, scrutinizing the contours of my shoulders. "I'm truly captivating," I whispered to myself, the words hanging in the air like a secret waiting to be uncovered. Time had been kind to me, but his gaze made me feel alive in a way I'd forgotten. As I slipped the dress over my head, a smile crept across my face, and in that fleeting moment, I felt an undeniable sense of magic enveloping me. As I descended the stairs, a haunting melody drifted from the living room, wrapping around me like a ghostly whisper. The melody wrapped around me like a warm embrace, stirring memories long tucked away in the corners of my mind. It was my favorite song, a haunting echo of moments that felt both distant and achingly close. With each step, time seemed to stretch, and my heart pounded fiercely in my chest. How did Lucas uncover the truth? It was a secret I had kept buried deep within me, never once uttering a word to him. With a swirl of confusion and curiosity, I stepped cautiously into the living room. In the heart of the room, Lucas positioned the gramophone with meticulous care, selecting a record that promised to weave a spell of sound and memory. As his gaze fell upon me, a spark ignited in his eyes. The admiration etched on his face conveyed a depth of feeling, silent yet powerful, as if his unspoken words resonated in the air around them. "How did you uncover the truth?" I inquired, my astonishment barely concealed. Lucas's smile was gentle, yet his gaze held a steady intensity that seemed to pierce through the shadows. "I heard you, Eleanor," he murmured. "You might have believed you were the sole observer, the one always attuned to my words, but the reality is far more intricate. I was the one absorbing every nuance of your voice, every detail you whispered, every fervor you unveiled. I etched it deep within my mind." His words enveloped me in a comforting embrace, igniting a fire within. It felt like an eternity since I had experienced the warmth of being genuinely seen, truly heard. Lucas moved in, his hand reaching out toward me, a silent invitation hanging in the air. "Tonight is yours, Eleanor. Embrace every moment. I'm here to make you feel extraordinary." As the melody enveloped the room, I felt an undeniable intensity in the depths of his gaze, a fierce determination that captivated my very soul. As we settled into our seats, the air crackled with anticipation. This was no ordinary conversation. It was infused with the deep-seated feelings and emotions we had buried for far too long. The magnetic force between us intensified with each fleeting moment. Lucas's voice sliced through the silence, rich and brimming with raw emotion. "Do you understand why I stayed away all this time, Eleanor?" His question struck me like a bolt from the blue, and my eyes were ensnared by his emerald gaze, desperately seeking to unravel the mystery of what lay ahead. He halted, a flicker of tension in the air, as if weighing each word with the gravity of a decision that could change everything. "I've always been drawn to you," he finally confessed, his voice a gentle storm that surged through the air, enveloping the room in an electric tension. "I witnessed the fire, the fervor, the thrill that burned within you. It was always there, lurking in the shadows, but the emotions it stirred within me were terrifying. Eleanor, deep down, I understood that I could never be a. In your presence, every fiber of my being ached to rush towards you. Yet my mind relentlessly whispered that it was forbidden." His words washed over me like a warm tide, igniting a flicker of comfort while simultaneously stirring a tempest of confusion within. My heart raced furiously, yet I understood the necessity of maintaining my composure. With a measured inhale, I fixed my gaze upon him. "Lucas, you shouldn't say this," I replied. but the tremor in my voice revealed the storm of emotions swirling within me. "I know I shouldn't," he murmured, his gaze dropping as if the weight of his words pulled him down. But then he lifted his gaze to mine once more, and the fierce intensity in his eyes anchored me, leaving me unable to move. "But I can't keep it buried any longer, Eleanor. For 2 long years, your presence has haunted my thoughts, refusing to fade away. Your eyes, your smile, every detail of you lingers in my mind like a ghost, refusing to let me go. In every shadow, in every corner, your presence lingered." My heart clung to the memory, refusing to let it fade away. His confession struck me with a jolt, igniting a thrilling rush within me. My hands gripped my lap with a fierce intensity, a tremor coursing through them that I couldn't control. "Lucas, this isn't right," I whispered, my voice trembling, yet I couldn't ignore the magnetic pull drawing me closer, the undeniable connection that crackled in the air between us. "It feels profoundly wrong." Lucas leaned in, his knees bending as he sat, tilting toward me with an intensity that drew me in. His eyes burned with an unwavering resolve. "Right or wrong," he declared, his voice a husky whisper yet unwavering, "I cannot deny the depth of my feelings, and neither can you, Eleanor. Your eyes reveal a world of secrets. This bond we share is undeniably genuine." In that fleeting moment, silence enveloped me, for he spoke the undeniable truth. The pull between us had always lingered in the shadows, a bond I had desperately tried to ignore for years. Yet, those unacknowledged feelings surged within me, growing stronger, drawing me in deeper with each passing moment. In his gaze and his words, everything came rushing back to me, a haunting reverberation of the past. "Thank you for not leaving me alone that day," I finally said, my voice trembling with the weight of unspoken feelings. "But Lucas, this is perilous. If we venture deeper, there will be no turning back for either of us." Lucas's hand moved with deliberate slowness, his fingers brushing against mine, igniting a spark that sent shivers down my spine. Reason faded the moment his fingers brushed mine, I had painstakingly constructed. "I refuse to go back, Eleanor," he declared, his voice steady and resolute. "In this fleeting moment, I yearn to share my heart with you, to unveil the depths of my feelings, to express how ordinary you are in my life." Tears brimmed in my eyes. Yet these emotions did not shatter me. Instead, they unleashed a powerful force buried deep within. His words spilled forth, a confession of a fervor he had hidden in the shadows for far too long. As he gazed into her eyes, his voice a whisper laced with fervor, he said, "I don't merely see beauty. I see an unyielding strength, a fiery passion, and an exuberance for life that captivates me. You're timeless, Eleanor. Age could never dim your light. Those feelings I hold for you will forever remain unaltered." His words shattered the final remnants of my defiance. I inhaled sharply, my gaze locking onto him. "Lucas," I whispered, my voice quivering as I leaned closer. "You see me in a way I haven't felt in years, and I can't deny it." The silence that enveloped the room was thick, laden with unspoken truths and emotions that echoed in the stillness. Our eyes locked in silence, and in that stillness, every unvoiced truth surged to the surface. The magnetic force drawing us together was now an inescapable truth, a fate sealed beyond our control. As Lucas's lips finally brushed against mine, a torrent of repressed emotions surged forth, overwhelming me in a wave of passion. A torrent of emotions surged forth, breaking through the surface like a wave crashing against the shore. His kiss ignited a fire within me, compelling me to face the torrent of emotions I had buried deep for so long. Yet the sheer intensity of it sent a shiver down my spine. The rational voice within me clashed fiercely, insisting that surrender was not an option. In an instant, I broke free, gasping for air as my heart raced. "Lucas," I breathed, my voice quaking with emotion. Uncertainty gripped me as I struggled to find the words I needed to express. Entranced by his gaze, I sensed my grip on reality beginning to fade. My heart raced as I took a step back, desperate to create distance between us. Silently, I rushed toward my bedroom, urgency propelling my every step. As I closed the door with a soft click, I pivoted to confront my reflection in the mirror. My cheeks burned with a fierce blush, and my eyes sparkled with a tumultuous mix of excitement and bewilderment. My hands quivered with a lingering tremor. "What am I doing here?" I murmured softly to myself. Yet, beneath the surface, a voice surged forth, relentless and unyielding, fueled by an insatiable longing. I leaned in closer to the mirror, my gaze tracing the delicate lines etched upon my face, whispers of time revealing their secrets. But then my gaze descended to my body, still firm and brimming with youthful vitality. "I still have it," I whispered, a small, conflicted smile tugging at the corners of my lips. Yet, somehow, that revelation only deepened the tangled web of complications. In that moment, the soft creak of the door sliced through the silence, sending a shiver down my spine. As I turned, Lucas's unwavering gaze locked onto mine, his presence filling the room as he stepped inside with purpose. His gaze remained locked on me as he shut the door with a soft click and stepped closer, the air thickening with tension. "Eleanor," he said, his voice a low whisper, yet filled with unwavering determination. "I won't allow you to escape." My gaze locked onto him, yet the words remained trapped in my throat. Lucas stepped closer, and once more, his lips met mine in a fervent embrace. This kiss deepened, drawing me into an abyss where I lost all sense of control. One by one, my defenses began to shatter. With an overwhelming surge of emotion, I found myself unable to resist any longer. My hands moved of their own accord, gripping his shoulders tightly. Lucas's arms encircled my waist, drawing me in tighter, as if the world around us faded away. His warmth wrapped around me like a cocoon, igniting a fire within that quickened my breath. His touch lingered, tracing a path from my lips to my neck, leaving a trail of warmth in its wake. My body, instinctively, reacted to his every caress, yet a desire we'd both tried, and failed, to deny. I took a cautious step back, not in fear, but to steady my racing heart and reclaim my breath. With a deliberate slowness, I stepped back, the weight of the moment settling between us as the room seemed to shrink as I caught a fleeting glimpse of my reflection in the mirror. A powerful wave of courage surged through me, igniting a fire deep within. "Lucas," I breathed, my voice a mere whisper. I stopped fighting what I'd always wanted. Those words ignited a spark in his eyes, a blaze that demanded attention. With a sense of urgency, Lucas's fingers danced over the buttons of his shirt, unfastening them with a swift, almost frantic precision. As he shrugged it off, his presence was magnetic, an unspoken pull I could no longer resist. Lucas's hands found their way to my waist once more, leading me with a tender urgency toward the bed. As I settled into the bed, he slipped in beside me, his presence enveloping me, saturating the air with an intensity that was both thrilling and unnerving. His kisses ignited a fire at my neck, trailing down to my shoulders, each touch a daring exploration of every inch of me. He stirred feelings and desires that had lain dormant within me for years. In that instant, the night unfurled before me like a dark tapestry, woven with threads of the unimaginable, and an undeniable certainty gripped my heart. Everything was about to change forever. Everything unfolded at a dizzying pace, my heart racing as if it might explode from my chest. I gazed at Lucas, my heart racing as confusion mingled with an overwhelming longing I couldn't conceal. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined this, I gasped, my breath caught in my throat. But in this moment, more than anything else, I crave this. A thrilling rush courses through me, igniting a fervent longing that consumes my every thought. Lucas tilted his head slightly, a soft yet resolute smile unfurling across his lips. "Eleanor," he murmured, his voice a soothing melody that wrapped around me, anchoring me in the moment. We had always yearned for this, yet each time we found ourselves fleeing from it. Not tonight. Tonight, we stand our ground, refusing to flee. In that instant, Lucas's words pierced through the final remnants of my defenses. The destination of this night no longer mattered to me. As I stood on the precipice of the unknown, anticipation coursed through my veins, urging me to surrender completely to the unfolding experience. A colossal force surged within me, so overwhelming that I instinctively shut my eyes, gripping the sheet tightly with one hand while my other clutched the edge of the bedside table for support. The sheer intensity of it stole my breath away. My eyes sealed shut for what felt like an eternity as I fought to concentrate solely on the sensations coursing through me. Now I know I'm in the terrier war. As I slowly blinked awake, my gaze fixed on the ceiling, I felt the weight of Lucas's presence looming above me. His hair hung in wild disarray, and a sheen of sweat glimmered on his forehead, hinting at the turmoil within. Just as the thought crossed my mind that everything was perfect, Lucas's hand suddenly enveloped mine on the bed, sending a jolt of electricity through the air. Everything enveloped me like a dream, surreal, yet strikingly vivid. As I stole a glance at the mirror, the reflection of us in that moment was too much to bear. I felt a surge of emotion that I could no longer contain. A wave of emotion crashed over me, leaving me breathless. A longing ignited within me, a fervor unlike anything I had ever known, leaving me astonished by the intensity of my own emotions. And then there was Lucas, a vision so breathtaking that I could scarcely believe he existed in reality. His cheeks burned with a vibrant flush as he unleashed a torrent of compliments upon me. My voice quivered in the stillness as I breathed out, "Lucas, you're incredible. In all honesty, I wish this night could stretch on forever." The thrill in his eyes intensified, a spark igniting with each passing moment. With my other hand, I reached out and pressed it against his chest, sensing the frantic rhythm of his heart pounding beneath my palm. "I've always wanted you," I confessed, the weight of the truth almost too heavy to bear. It feels surreal, as if the world has tilted on its axis and I'm caught in the whirlwind of disbelief. As I shut my eyes once more, I yielded to the enveloping warmth that coursed through my being. In that very instant, the room spun as every nerve came alive under his touch. Lucas, gasping for air, fell to the ground beside me. With a fierce resolve etched across his features, Lucas sat up and extended his hand toward his phone. He turned to me, his fingers dancing over the screen as it sprang to life with a flicker of light. "Eleanor, there's something I need to reveal to you," he whispered, his voice laced with urgency. As he angled the phone in my direction, a rush of shock coursed through me, and my eyes widened in disbelief. The image captured a quaint cottage nestled by the shimmering lake, a small haven of tranquility that resonated with the deepest corners of my dreams. "I dreamed of this," he said, his voice a blend of intensity and longing. "I want to take you here. In a distant corner of this house, it's just the two of us, isolated from the world around. Tomorrow morning, we will venture to this intriguing place, and once we arrive, I will request that you don an outfit I have carefully selected for you." Tonight, I laid eyes on the woman of my dreams, the one who has haunted my thoughts and filled my fantasies. That woman is you, Eleanor. From the very beginning, it has always been you. His words unleashed a tempest within, and my heart thundered in response. As I gazed at him, a whirlwind of emotions surged within me, leaving me utterly speechless. This was not merely a fleeting encounter. It was an entrance to a realm of endless possibilities. As I stood before that door, uncertainty loomed large, yet an unexpected calm washed over me. For the first time, fear held no sway, for I was not crossing the threshold alone. The journey has just begun, and the most thrilling chapters are yet to unfold. If you've journeyed this far, it's clear that this tale has resonated with you on a profound level. There's an abundance of secrets waiting to unfold, and each moment is a treasure you won't want to overlook. Make sure to follow along, activate those notifications, and share your thoughts on this tale. Your thoughts are like treasures waiting to be uncovered. Dive into the comments and share what's on your mind. Your unwavering support is everything to me.